Okay, hello everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining Dragon Trail International and Fliggy for this month's webinar. Today we're going to be talking about a very important and growing segment of the Chinese outbound travel market, which is independent travelers and where and how they're traveling in 2025. My name's Sienna Perulis-Cook. I'm Dragon Trail's Director of Marketing and Communications. It's my pleasure to welcome Leon Li from Fliggy. Fliggy is Alibaba's travel marketplace and one of China's most important online travel platforms. And Leon is joining us as a guest speaker this month, and we're very happy to have him with us. So thanks for joining, Leon.
Thank you. Thank you, Sienna.
We're going to start off today's presentation with a brief recap of the Labor Day holiday that happened in China earlier this month, before talking about the trend towards independent travel in the Chinese outbound travel market and how Chinese independent travelers plan and book their trips. Then I'm going to turn over to Leon to tell us about the independent travel trends that we can see among Fliggy's users, including a look ahead to the upcoming summer travel season. At the end of the presentation, we'll open things up for a Q&A session for you to ask any questions you have about Chinese independent travelers, marketing to Chinese consumers, and working with Fliggy and Dragon Trail. You can ask questions at any point during the webinar using the Q&A button on your Zoom control panel, and we'll answer as many as we can at the end during the Q&A session. We will be recording today's session, and later today, I'll send all attendees a link to that recording as well as a copy of all the presentation slides. So you will have all of the materials from today's webinar for your own reference later on or to share with colleagues who you think might be interested. In case you're attending a Dragon Trail webinar for the first time, I want to briefly introduce who we are. Dragon Trail International is a marketing solutions company headquartered in Beijing. And since our founding in 2009, we have focused on marketing for Chinese outbound tourism, working with destinations, hotels, attractions, retailers, and other travel brands, businesses around the world to help them reach Chinese consumers and the Chinese travel trade. Our services include B2C and B2B digital marketing and content creation, offline, virtual, and hybrid events, research and strategy consulting, and market representation services. You can find more information about our services, case studies of our work, and lots of free resources on Chinese outbound tourism and digital marketing on our website, www.dragontrail.com. Okay, now let's get started with some of the latest news about Chinese travel. China's Labor Day holiday was a 5-day public holiday from the 1st to the 5th of May. This is an especially popular time for medium and long distance domestic travel in China, as well as short haul outbound travel. During the holiday period this year, border crossings by mainland Chinese citizens were up by 21.2% compared to 2024, according to China's National Immigration Authority. Mainland arrivals to Hong Kong, which was one of the leading outbound destinations, were up by 22.8% in the first 3 days of the holiday. The average number of daily flights to and from a variety of popular short and long-haul international destinations were ahead of pre-pandemic levels, including Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, the UK, the UAE, and Russia. As expected, regional destinations were the most popular for outbound trips, with Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, South Korea, and Thailand at the top of the list for most OTAs and travel websites. Additionally, niche destinations around the world saw significant growth rates, where we saw the popularity in particular for visa-free destinations in the Middle East and Central Asia. One major trend for the holiday travel this May was travelers using their annual leave to extend their trips and avoid peak times and prices. OTA Qunar reported a 30% year-on-year increase in trips that extended past the official public holiday dates, and around 19% of Tunio's travelers were early birds who took off before the public holiday started on the 1st of May. So now let's turn to the topic of today's webinar, which is independent travelers. I joined Dragon Trail in 2017, and back then the big trend in Chinese outbound tourism was the shift away from independent travel and towards FIT, which is defined as fully independent travel or free independent travel. FIT, as well as the rise of customized and private group tours. And these are still the big trends that we're discussing today. So and at that point, those trends had already been gaining momentum for a number of years already. So these are very much long-term continuous trends in the Chinese outbound tourism market. At that time in 2017, Ctrip shared that 42% of Chinese outbound travelers were already traveling as FITs, with 14% traveling on customized tours and 44% joining traditional package tours. The China Tourism Academy's statistics were a little bit different. They look at the wider market rather than just Ctrip customers, and they also highlight the shift away from group travel. In 2017, 72% of their surveyed outbound travelers traveled with a group. The following year, this was down to just over 55%. The ratio of group tourists to FITs vary significantly from destination to destination, with more familiar destinations and English-speaking countries more accessible for independent travel. In Australia, which is an English-speaking country that was established very early on as a destination for outbound Chinese tourism, the percentage of Chinese visitors traveling as FITs grew from 44% in 2012 to 61% in 2017. And this trend towards FIT kept progressing each year. In 2019, Forward Keys data showed an 18.8% year-on-year growth in independent outbound travel at Chinese New Year. The shift towards independent travel has continued since the pandemic and China's reopening as well, and perhaps it was even accelerated by the pandemic due to a number of factors. First, during COVID, Chinese travelers strongly preferred to go travel independently when traveling domestically, avoiding large groups and strangers to avoid infection risk. This gave Chinese travelers a taste for independent trips and also gave them the experience and confidence to travel independently. Second, after China reopened for outbound travel in 2023, it took another month or so before travel agencies were even allowed to sell outbound group tourism products. And then when they were allowed to sell those, it started first with a list of just 20 countries around the world. And then later in the year, gradually more and more countries were added to the list. So this naturally meant that independent travel started to recover before outbound group travel could get going again. And lastly, for the outbound market, it is the more experienced, wealthy travelers who have come back first and strongest, especially to long-haul markets like Oceania and Europe. And these kinds of travelers prefer to travel independently. So this also rebalances the market more towards FIT than it was before the pandemic. In Dragon Trail's most recent consumer survey, which we released just last month, 60% of respondents who are planning an outbound trip in 2025 said that they preferred to travel independently, with just 15% wanting to join a tour group of 10 or more people. Even where group travel is coming back, the group size tends to be smaller than it was before. We can also see this continued trend in Tunio's booking data for the May Labor Day holiday. They had an 18% year-on-year increase in travelers booking group travel compared to a bigger 23% increase in bookings for FIT. Preference for independent travel is strongest among younger travelers, and this is something that we see in Dragon Trail's own consumer survey data, as well as reinforced by other market research. A report by Fast Data last year highlighted how the percentage of Chinese outbound travelers who said FIT was the best way to travel increased significantly among each age group by decade of birth, with just 37% of travelers born in the 1970s preferring to travel independently, compared to 86% of travelers born in the year 2000 and later. Additionally, Fast Data's report revealed that in 2024, more travelers were considering FIT than ever before. Among those survey respondents who had traveled as part of a group in 2023, only 57% said that they would again choose group travel, with 43% of those previous group travelers saying that they would choose FIT for their next outbound trip. The Fast Data report also highlighted the trend of group plus independent travel, where travelers would have their transportation and hotels covered as part of a group package, but then they would be free and independent during the day. So they would be planning their own activities and their own meals on a daily basis. Travel website Mafengguo's 2024 report on young travelers, they found that less than 1% said that they always traveled with a group, and 19.2% said they would never consider group travel. However, nearly half did say that they might join a small group or a day tour, and notably 27.7% said that they would feel safer joining a group for outbound travel. Despite the trend towards FIT, group tourism products are definitely still relevant for the outbound market, particularly for more niche destinations such as Latin America or Africa, as well as for older travelers and first-time travelers. Moreover, there's also strong potential still for smaller themed group travel products and for private customized tours. So our theme today is independent travel, but I want to be clear that there are still many opportunities for group tourism products in the market, and for some destinations, this may continue to be your primary source of Chinese visitors. I'd like to shift focus now to talk a little bit about the digital tools and platforms that have helped to facilitate the shift to more independent travel. Chinese outbound travelers are extremely online, and they adopted mobile trip planning and booking tools faster than markets in the West. This digital savviness has also given them the resources, confidence, and freedom to travel more independently, with lots of travel information, UGC recommendations, and helpful tools available through the WeChat ecosystem and other apps like Alipay for mobile payments, Dianping for local restaurant and attraction listings, and very importantly, RedNote. The growth of RedNote, or Xiaohongshu, for travel during the pandemic is also something that has helped Chinese travelers to be more independent and also plan their trips more on the go. They use the social media platform as a search engine and to find reliable, useful travel information and tips shared by influencers as well as by their peers. And of course, OTAs are also a big part of traveler journey, especially in terms of planning and booking, and they have also played a huge role in helping Chinese travelers to become more independent and plan their own trips rather than just signing up for a group tour and letting somebody else make all the arrangements and decisions. We're going to take a quick look at Fast Data's information on the Chinese online travel marketplace now, especially how it's used by FITs and how Fliggy comes into all of this. So first, their overall assessment of the Chinese online outbound travel market highlights the importance of the Trip.com brands, which include Ctrip and Qunar. These account for nearly half of the outbound market. In red, we see the only real competition is Fliggy with 29.6% market share. Now, things look a little bit different when we look specifically at the FIT market for outbound travel. Here, Fast Data shows that Fliggy actually has the biggest market share at 44.3%. Fast Data's report highlights the areas that where Fliggy stands out in China's outbound OTA market among young travelers and independent travelers, as well as for visa services, local entertainment booking, and telecommunications products. Now, with that introduction to FIT And the OTA market, I'm going to hand over to Leon to tell us more about Fliggy and Fliggy's outbound FITs.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sienna. And first of all, I'm very honored to be part of this webinar, and thank you, Sienna and the Dragon Trail for your invitation. And as Fliggy, we are have very close cooperations with Dragon Trail, and I'm very good friend of George, Sean, and a lot of Dragon Trail friends. And so when I received this invitation, I found this a great opportunity to share more information about Fliggy and Fliggy's relationship to Alibaba, and especially focus on outbound FIT travelers. So please allow me to share my screen. Hi, Sienna, is my screen okay now?
Sorry, I can see your screen, but it's not the presentation. It's
Not
we can.
Okay, sorry, let me try again.
We can see like what you're seeing on Zoom,
Oh,
but not the presentation slides.
okay. How about now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And my presentation consists of 3 parts. First of all, a short introduction of Fliggy, and then I'd like to share some travel trend, and then lastly, our marketing solutions for destination promotions. First of all, Fliggy. Fliggy is kind of like a tourism arm of the Alibaba group. So through Fliggy, we're like a gateway to the whole Alibaba's ecosystem. And we all know that for Alibaba, we have over 1 billion active users. So for Ali, we have like the Chinese largest e-commerce platforms like Taobao and Tmall. It has over 900 million users in the Chinese market. And we have the largest payment platform called Alipay, and has also over 1 billion users, and also the largest navigation platform called A-Map. Right now in China, according to the data of Coast Mobile, the top 4 applications in Chinese market, 3 of them are coming from Alibaba. Number 1 is, of course, WeChat. Everyone uses it. And number 2 is Taobao. Number 3 is Alipay. And number 4 is A-Map. So Fliggy also provides tourist products to all these platforms, Taobao, Alipay, and A-Map as well. So thanks to Alibaba's ecosystem, we cover almost every aspect regarding tourism. And of course, we have like Alibaba Cloud provide technical support to all of the Alibaba's business. And so this Alimama platform is our digital marketing platform, which combines all the data of Alibaba. So what Fliggy interested to bring incremental tourists for our partners, for destinations, and for brands. For example, we can use those cross-platform data analyze to precisely target who might be interested to travel to a certain destination. That's what we are going to do. And there are some basic data of Fliggy. And right now for Fliggy, the Fliggy's application, we have over 500 million registered users. But just like I mentioned, through this Alibaba's ecosystem, we can have access to over 1 billion customers in China only. And over 60% of our users are post-90s, so they're quite young. And through our cooperation, because Fliggy is an online travel platform, so we are not a travel agency, we are not an OTA, we are an OTP. So through our cooperation with a lot of partners, right now we are providing over 25,000 domestic and international direct flight routes, over 8 million train routes, and a lot of hotels, theme park tickets, car rentals, visas and communications, local experience products, all kinds of tourism services. And according to the report, also Sienna just mentioned the fast data. Right now, we are the leading outbound independent travel platform, over about 43% of the market share of last year, and over 88.3% of the young outbound travelers will choose Fliggy when they travel abroad for their first time. And our visa services is leading in the Chinese market, which provide us the privilege to know which travelers are going to travel abroad, so we can do some marketing or promotions in advance. And of course, the communication services is also the number one in the Chinese market, which thanks to the traffic from Taobao. And the last data is also the reason why we are leading the FIT market, is because our market share of local entertainment products, those local experience products, has the largest market share in the Chinese market as well. This thanks to the travel agents or merchants who are doing business on platform, which I will touch upon later. And another advantage of Fliggy is our membership system. We have been working with a lot of partners, including a lot of hotel groups like Marriott, Hilton, and some theme parks like Disneyland and the Universal Studios. And we have this connection of Fliggy's membership together with their memberships. For example, through our cooperation with Marriott, their members in the Chinese market increased 10 million within 3 years. So, for example, if you are F3 members of Fliggy, you can get the silver members of Marriott automatically. Just need a confirmation button on Fliggy's application. And for the second part, I would like to share some travel trend. Sienna asked me to share some of the trend for this year's summer vacation. And so I checked the data of Fliggy until yesterday. We can see the top departure cities, including from China, including some original, very popular source market, including Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou, those tier 1 cities. And also like Hangzhou is increasing very fast, where Alibaba is based. And some western part of China is also increasing fast, like Chengdu and Chongqing. And for the top destinations, at least the top 10 destinations right now for this summer's bookings. Of course, some of the traditional popular destinations like Japan, Korea, and also Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia are still there. And for some long-haul destinations, we can see some Australia, and also from European, we have United Kingdom, and North American, we have United States and Canada. And but to be frank, some of the destinations is increasing fast, like Malaysia. But for some destinations, like for example Thailand, although it's still top 10, but compared to last year, the booking trend is not as good as we expected. due to some reasons, for example, the security concerns of the Chinese customers. And I also listed the top 10 fast-growing destinations compared to last year. I can see some of the destinations are very new to us, like Georgia. Among this top 10, Georgia increased the fast. And also Azerbaijan and Serbia, they're all visa-free destinations. And from the European, we can see Denmark, Hungary, and Norway. They are those niche destinations who are becoming more and more popular among the young generations as well. And because it's a summer, so some destinations for family trips, for the Maldives, they're always very popular destinations on our platform. But to be frank, because we are still have like more than 1 month till the summer vacation. So, and we are now undergoing the 618 campaigns right now. So some of the customers are still trying and not decided yet which destinations they are going to visit during the summer vacation. So I believe these numbers and destinations are going to be changed by the end of this summer vacation. And I also checked the flight tickets data, and we can see that over 65% of the customers they will book flight tickets within 3 months or 3 months prior to their departure, and only 35 of them booked flight tickets longer than that. And this is the numbers from last year's summer vacation report of Fliggy. And we can see this FITs from last year, the total, the FIT travel products accounts for more than 80% of our total transactions last year. So, and it's also our belief that this trend will keep growing this year as well. And lots of the customers, they prefer like city walk plus city eat, those kind of more leisure itineraries. And the bookings of cruise services increased over 20 times last year, and car rental services grew by over 5 times compared to the previous year. And we also recently conducted a customer survey regarding the FIT trends. And here we'd like to share some of the trends we find out. First one is inspiration. We can see the more and more fragmented inspiration that users discover travel ideas anytime via platforms like Douyin or TikTok or Rednote has become a mainstream trend. And those short videos and illustrated content reduce decision-making barriers within vivid visuals. So inspiration could happen anytime, anywhere, any platforms. And the actions of the customers is more and more rapid, thanks to the increased visa-friendly destinations from Southeast Asian destinations, Middle East, and the Central Asian destinations as well. And those young generations, especially those solo or peer travel, their decision-making process is very fast. It takes about only, some of them takes about only 1 or 2 weeks to decide their itinerary. But for family trips, it normally will take longer, over 2 months. That's what we find. And also thanks to the digital tools or platforms, customers are more and more confident of planning itineraries by themselves. For example, those navigation platforms or translation tools. And that's why they are not that used to those rigid group tours. to prioritize flexibility and personalization. And they also prefer more flexible itineraries because flexible time and the location selections, users always split bookings into cancelable hotel stays to avoid rigid schedules. For example, if it's a 7-day itinerary, some of them will probably only book the first 2 or 3 days of hotel bookings and then leave the rest to be flexible. And they will only book in advance for those very popular spots. For example, if there are theme parks or something like that, they will book in advance. And of course, our customers will compare price on different platforms, including Ctrip, Fliggy, or even Airbnb, and or from other third-party channels. So they can pay for something is expensive, but they're not going to overpay for it. So no overpaying for unnecessary services or experience has become a common rule. And another trend is holistic decision making, because some of the a lot of the users they have more and more they have the rising living standards. They will prioritize travel comfort, including demand high quality lodging, convenient transit, and premium services. And they also have high domestic service standards also affect their decision making. And those travelers, they are going to abandon generic itineraries, seeking unique, localized experiences over checklist tourism. And for Fliggy, we also work with a lot of partners in demos and brands to promote their products. For example, of course, this you can see some Euro advertising channels on Fliggy, and Alibaba's ecosystem. It's pre-booked before their itinerary, during or after their trip. Of course, we can also provide a lot of offline resources as well. Some hotels, attractions, airlines, and thanks to Alibaba's ecosystem, we have also some resources. For example, in Fresh Hippo, this is one of the most popular supermarkets among middle class, and we have also Tmall campus work for them to promote, especially for those university students. We are going to launch a campaign with Korean very soon this year to focus on university students for this summer. And our campaigns, online campaigns, are focused on the main holidays of the Chinese market. But before that, besides that, we also have maybe 2 major online campaigns. One is called 618, it's because 18th of June, another one is Double 11. These 2 are the largest online campaigns in the Chinese market. It will help us to secure potential travelers over the next 3 to 6 months, because all of the products we promote during these 2 campaigns will be valid for at least 3 to 6 months. And we will curate high quality products for the destinations. We will work with our partners, provide good products with good price. For example, during last year's Double 11, for the first minutes of the campaign, our GMV is over 137 million US dollars within the first minute. And last year we sold over 1 million flight passes and 3 million hotel packages and over 1 million theme park tickets and vacation packages. So that's why I mentioned this year's summer promotion. It just started on our platform because now we are undergoing the 618 campaigns, which will start it by the middle of May until the 18th of June. And the Double 11 will start in the middle of October until 11th November. And this is a super VIP promotion, which we cooperate with a lot of DMOs since last year. We will do live streamings, not only on Fliggy, but also on Taobao, the largest live streaming platform in the Chinese market. Right now, this our super VIP account on Taobao has data is wrong. It's over 40 million followers already, and our audiences are the high value audiences on our platform, including Taobao VIP members and also Fliggy's high level members as well. Taobao's VIP members, they have over 40 million VIP members right now. And we can do live streaming not only in China, but also in destinations. Last year, we do live streaming in a lot of destinations abroad. And Fliggy is also China's biggest Chinese online travel platform to our merchants. Because, in China, if you want to do outbound travel business, you need to get the license from Chinese ministry. And right now, there are over about 4,500 travel agencies in China that are qualified to operate outbound travel business, of which 2,000 have operated stores on the Fliggy platform. So it's almost 1 of every 2 Chinese outbound travel agencies has opened a store on Fliggy as well. So which provide us over 15,000 online customer service staff, which is the largest number in China, which answers over 10 million consumer inquiries every day. And right now we have over 120,000 local experience products for over 200 countries and regions. And this is what we see a normal process when a customer chooses to travel to a destination abroad. The purpose of trip, why, and then where to go, and figure out how to travel. It's GIT or FIT, and the time when to go, and choose which agency for booking, and then ask about the cost, and then purchase. From the data of our platform, we can see that every customer, before when they plan their trip, they will choose at least 3 destinations, and choose from one of the 3 destinations to make their decisions. And they will browse at least 13 products on average, and they will ask 27 questions before their trip. So that's why we think the customer service professionalism directly influences travel destination choice. That's why from last year, Fliggy worked with a lot of demos to conduct merchants and networkings and trainings in China and abroad. We did it with Brand USA, with Fiji, with Hong Kong, and we'll keep doing it this year with many more partners to increase the knowledges of the merchants to know better about the destination and the products and the policies of the destination. And of course, artificial intelligence is becoming more and more popular for the tourism industry. And thanks to Alibaba or Alibaba Cloud, we have the most powerful AI capabilities. So like 2 weeks ago, we launched Fliggy's AI agent called 问一问 in Chinese. It can help not only help our customer to plan their personal itineraries, but also because of we connect the data of the whole Alibaba system with Fliggy, with AMAP, with our entertainment group, so we can provide bookings through this AI directly. So we can see this is the first commercial level of AI agent in the Chinese market. And we are also working with a lot of domestic and international partners to provide those AI capability for their promotion and campaigns. And okay, that's my presentation, and here is my email. And if you are interested to find more information about Fliggy, about Alibaba, feel free to reach me out. I'm very glad to get connections with all potential partners. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Leon. So just to remind everyone, I will be sending out the presentation slides to everyone later today, as well as a link to the recording of the webinar. So you'll have all of the materials to look back on, because I know there's a lot of really interesting data in Leon's presentation. I was certainly taking notes too. So I think also in the next week, we'll be publishing a blog on the Dragon Trail website that talks about some of the key learnings from your presentation.
Thank you.
And I guess one of them is just about how last minute the market is too. So we do have some data now about summer travel, but particularly for younger travelers, it seems that they book very last minute, and a lot of people might be waiting for the 618 shopping festival. So some of these trends can change between now and when people are actually taking off in July and August for their trips. I also so I'll be publishing a blog post on the Dragon Trail website like in the next week about the key takeaways from Leon's presentation. But for now, you can also find lots of other resources on our website, including the Fast Data report about China's online travel marketplace that I referenced and that Leon referenced as well in his presentation. It's a very good report. And you can also find more information on the May holiday, as well as Dragon Trail's traveler sentiment surveys, and lots more on the resources section of our website. You can also sign up for our newsletter for monthly updates and future webinar invitations, and follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and WeChat for more regular updates. Finally, one last thing before we start in on the Q&A section. We're starting work right now on a very exciting research and intelligence project for 2005, which is a bilingual Chinese-English white paper on Chinese tourism to the Middle East and North Africa. We're aiming to publish this at the end of October in partnership with Dragon Trail's sister brand, Chinese Travel Trade Media Travel Marketing Watch. The white paper will include country and destination profiles, exclusive consumer and travel trade survey data, interviews, articles, and case studies. And we are looking for regional travel brands to take part by sharing data, insights, and case studies with us, as well as working with us on the project as sponsors. So if you're a tourism board or other travel brand or business in the Middle East or North Africa, I really want to hear from you. Please do get in touch with me. My contact information is here. And you can also contact Dragon Trail's VP of Growth, Sean Lee, to discuss how we can work on this important project together. So now we're ready for Q&A. So please send in your questions to me or Leon using the Q&A button. And I'd also like to take this opportunity now to say thank you to Leon for joining us as a guest speaker this month. And thank you very much to all of you for listening in. I can see we already have a lot of questions and more coming in. There was a question that was asked very early on in the webinar that I think we can address first, which is an update on Thailand, given the concerning trend in the last few months. So the last data that I saw about bookings to Thailand showed that Chinese bookings were down around 30% year on year. And that the Tourism Authority of Thailand is revising its targets for this year in terms of tourism arrivals. Tourism bookings from Hong Kong are also down, not quite as much as the mainland market, but still quite significantly. And this is really impacted by safety fears among consumers about Thailand. So this is continuing to be quite a big problem and definitely something that might take a while to resolve at this point because it's been going on for so long. So we would hope to see kind of a concerted official response. I think that given Dragon Trail survey data, we asked people about what kinds of things make them feel more safe about a destination, and official channels were definitely the ones that came out on top. Advice from the Chinese government, as well as information and actions taken by local governments. So I think that's what consumers will be looking for. But also I think things like live streaming and video can give people more of a sense of what a place is really like, travel agent training. So there are lots of things that can be done to help to reassure the market about safety in Thailand, but I think that consumers will really be looking for some kind of official response to combat things like human trafficking and the scam centers that are making people so scared about traveling there. I don't know, Leon, if you have anything to add to that about the issue in Thailand right now.
Yes, and I totally agree with you. And the situation in Thailand is true; it's not that good. And you said 30% decrease. Yes, from the data of Fliggy, it's more than that. What I can say, it's more than that. And so that's why we can see some increase to like destination like Malaysia and like Japan. Some we can see that some of the tourists, when they search the Thailand before, then they change to Malaysia and Japan, and even some domestic destinations. For example, for the Chinese New Year, some of them change to like Hainan or Sanya in China, or Malaysia abroad, and also some cold destinations in winter destinations in Japan. That's true. So I think because I also have very close cooperations with TAT Tourism of Thailand agency, and I know they are going to launch some air tickets campaigns or promotions to increase to solve the problem. But I do believe that because of the safety concerns, security concerns, it's going to take some time for the Thailand to come back, because for many years Thailand is usually the number one outbound destinations for the Chinese tourists. But since last year, Japan is number one, and this trend keeps the same for this year.
Leon, we have quite a few questions for you about shopping and luxury shopping and how retailers might be able to work with Fliggy. Are you able to talk about kind of Chinese outbound luxury shopping trends and how Fliggy can be involved with this?
Yeah, and it's true that we found out that shopping is not as popular as before due to many reasons. But it's still, but we also find that shopping is still a very a necessary itinerary for the Chinese tourists when they are traveling abroad. So we are working with a lot of shopping malls to promote luxury shopping. For example, from our partners from many from European destinations and also from Thailand. And for this kind of cooperation, we will involve Alipay together. Yeah, because it's the largest payment platform for the Chinese tourists. So we will keep doing it this year as well.
Okay, I know the Alipay app is something that is very helpful for tourists sometimes on the go,
Yeah,
that you can open the app and it's not just for payment, but you get good recommendations for venues around you and discounts that you can get using
yeah.
Alipay. So is that integrated with Fliggy?
Fliggy, yes. Yes, it's integrated. So that's why when we promote some of the shopping malls, we normally will involve Alipay together.
Mhm. I also, someone had a question. I think it's a very interesting topic. If you could share a little bit more information about the launch of your AI agent in China.
Oh yeah, our AI agent is the foundation is from Alibaba Cloud, because Alibaba Cloud has been investing in AI from many years ago, and now it has it provides services for IOC, International Olympic Committee. So as long as from the Beijing Winter Olympics several years ago, and also the Tokyo Olympic Games, and even last year Paris Olympic Games, it's all Alibaba Cloud who provide technical support for those big events. And also from the latest news, we can see that even the Apple choose Alibaba Cloud to provide Apple Intelligence for the Chinese market, their only partner. So thanks to Alibaba Cloud, we have the most powerful AI capabilities. But we also know that there are two necessary parts if you would like to provide AI services. One is AI, the technical part. Another one is the data related to tourism. So for Fliggy, for technical part, we have Alibaba Cloud, and for the data part, we can use the data from Fliggy, from AMAP, from Alipay. That's why for this Fliggy's AI agent, we can apply itineraries and also provide bookings directly. So when people are planning their itineraries, our AI agent can let them know what is, because we have data from Fliggy, we can know which dates have the best price for air tickets, which dates or which hotels can provide the best prices for them. You just let the agent know how many persons you are going to travel. It's a family trip, it's a couple trip, or do you have kids or not? Do you prefer any kind of activities, or you prefer any restaurants or something like that, and your budget, average budget, and then our AI can provide you the whole with recommendations of hotel booking, flight booking, and restaurants, and even a map, itinerary, a map on a map. You can navigate, and it's very convenient. And the dynamic, most important is dynamic. And we can also provide this kind of AI capabilities to our partners. For example, we're working with some of the domestic tourism departments and to provide those AI services for international tourists. Because our AI can provide over 20 different kind of languages, which covers over 99% of the global population. So the domestic tourism department would like to use this AI agent to provide services for all the international the inbound tourists.
Okay, that
And
actually segues really well into another question that people asked about sorry, about how in China there's OTAs that are now kind of competing for that overseas market, either non-Chinese people traveling globally or
yeah,
inbound travel, and kind of how you're tapping into the non-Chinese travelers and your
okay,
strategy there.
yeah, that's a good question. And of course, we are also notice that we also notice that the inbound tourism is increasing very fast. So we are working with other business units of Alibaba to provide tourism services for international travelers. So starting from last year, we have a platform called Lazada, which is headquartered in Singapore and covering Southeast Asian countries, including Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Philippines and Vietnam. And Fliggy is providing tourism products for those source markets through Lazada, including flight tickets, hotel bookings, and package tours, which increase very fast. And also from this year, we have another platform called AliExpress, which covers also a lot of destinations. And we are also providing tourism products since last month to Korea through AliExpress. And we will keep doing it for more destinations this year. It's just like anyone, for the Chinese tourists, anyone who bought tourist products from Taobao is provided by Fliggy. So we are using these existing popular e-commerce platforms abroad to provide tourism services for international customers. That's our plan.
And then there's a few questions for you about opening shops on Fliggy. So I just wanted to check with you. So travel agencies can open a shop on Fliggy, but also like tourist attractions, hotels, they can
Yeah.
open their own shops. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then what is the process like if you wanted to open a shop on Fliggy?
Actually, it's not that complicated, and we have a special team. So if anyone who's interested to open a store on Fliggy and do business directly with the Chinese customers, they feel free to send me an email. But what I would like to say is that if you like to open a store on Fliggy, so you need at least a customer service who can speak Chinese, provide customer service for like 24/7. So it's kind of a challenge for some of the tourist agencies. And so there are two ways. One is to open so if you are you're interested, but the good thing is when you open the store, you can do a business directly with the customers, and you own all the data, and you decide all the products, do the campaigns all by yourselves. So it's a good thing, but the difficult thing is to provide like customer service in Chinese, and it could be a challenge for some of the partners. And also, of course, it will need some cost to open a store. For example, the customer service will cost you. It depends on how many products you are going to list on our platform. So another thing is another way is we can introduce some of our top merchants to cooperate with you, so they can buy products from you and then sell it on Fliggy for you. So that's another way to do it. Because some of our merchants who are also very keen to explore new partners and new destinations. For example, like 2 days ago, we had this kind of networking workshop in Chengdu between our merchants for the western part of China and with Saudi tourism agency. So the Saudi, they bring STA, they bring some of the tour operators, and we introduce the local merchants to do this kind of networking and workshop. So it's an introduction between the buyers and the sellers.
Interesting. I think I have a much better understanding now of how Fliggy works and how tourism brands can work with Fliggy to sell their products. So,
Yeah, but also,
oh, go ahead.
But also we welcome more and more partners to open stores directly on our platform. Yeah, it's also our wish. So, and it's true, over this 2,000 outbound travel agencies, some of them are international travel agencies who are registered abroad.
Great. So we are out of time now. So I wanted to say a huge thank you again to Leon for sharing all of your information and insights today. And thanks very much to the audience. We'll be announcing our next webinar, hopefully in the next week or two, and we'll send out an email to let you know about that. And we hope to see you there.
Okay. Thank you, Sienna.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.